Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. I've said on this channel quite a few times how important it is to belong to a Bible studying group. We were never meant to run this race alone, and Bible journaling was never meant to replace the study of the Bible or the getting together of the saints. So it's not a art get together or a class on the art. It really should be a fellowship, a getting together of the saints, where we fill one another up and help one another along the journey of walking an everyday Christian life. It is not for Instagram pictures. We need to get back to that basic, back to the origin, back to where we were made to be in the first place. We were made to shine a light. We were made to glorify God. And we were made to go into all the nations and make disciples. Firstly in our neighborhoods, then in our cities, and then in our country and outside of the country borders. And so today for my February class, I belong to a Bible journaling group, and we do a series of a series every year. Last year our series was on the women of the Bible. This year it is on love, and specifically loving yourself. You know, the Bible speaks so clearly. Every time it says to love others, it says to love others as yourself. If love is not at the start of it, if love is not at the beginning of it, then there's nothing. So God is love. If we're with God, we need to love ourselves in that love that God has loved us with. And then in the way that we love ourselves, we need to love others. So for this week's study in our little traveler's notebook, which our group is making for every month of this year, we are dealing with Galatians 5 verse 22, and it speaks of the fruit of the Spirit. And you know, I'm so ecstatic that it starts with love. Yes, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. Those are important, but it starts with love. God always starts with love. If your motive, if your heart isn't love, then you can push out joy as much as you want. It's not going to come until there is a source of love. God, the fruit of the Spirit. And all of these things follow on love. If you love someone, you will have joy when you're with them. If you love someone, peace will be more important than fighting. If you love someone, patience will be easier to come by, and so on and so forth. So I'm using the Creative Retreat kit from February last year, in 2018, and I'm just using that word love. I kind of cut off the D in the sense of not inking it up, so it just says love and not loved. And then I'm using this heart stamp that comes with the kit, and I'm inking it up with some Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens in a very bright color range, well, much brighter than what I usually use, just to add some color to it. With the Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens, because the ink dries kind of quick, I tried doing the different colors all at once, but I see that it didn't work, and so I am inking up the color one at a time in the little splatter or array that I wanted it to be in. What we focus a lot on in this group is that it is not necessary to go buy new products. You need to use what you have. And so I love my teacher in this class. She always encourages us to recycle and reuse and make do with what we have without spending a lot of money. Remember that it shouldn't be about the newest kit or the newest fad or the newest, I want to say, ink pads and distresses and what, all that stuff. It's not about that. It really is just about spending time in the Word. And so as I was stamping all these hearts ready, I was examining my own to see if these fruit of the Spirit is something that I am forcing, or if it's something that is there because of my connection with the Holy Spirit. And so in that traveler's notebook, my notes there really is about checking my own heart. Have I gotten so complacent that I've forgotten to attach the Holy Spirit to this? Remember, fruit of the Spirit means that it's there because the Spirit is there. It's not a tree standing there trying to push out fruit on its own. It's connected to a source of water and ground, and that helps this tree to naturally be fruitful. You don't ever see a tree with like a frown on its face, trying to push out fruit. It's always just natural. It happens. And in the same way, the fruit of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, should come naturally in our lives when we're connected to the source. Using some of these enamel stickers from Creative Retreat, from that same kit, February last year, so it's a year ago already, using this nice Creative Retreat ink as well. I really love this ink so far. I've used it for a day or two now, and bottom line is I like it a lot. It stamps clear, it stamps it's very juicy. It's just a kind of ink that I like. It doesn't smudge as much, and it is waterproof. So, and then I'm using some of the stickers that also came with this kit. I haven't used this kit before. I just got it. That is a very loud truck. Real life out here. And so just adding hearts everywhere. Hearts symbolizing, of course, love, and then outlining some of them just to make them stand out a bit more. And so, like I said, as I'm doing this, I'm just remembering what it's all about, love. Using some Faber-Castell watercolor paints that I've had in this palette for a while. They are just reactivated with water, so it's great. And I'm just mixing a blue and a pink to make like a purpley color, and then using that same color with a lot of water just to highlight the verse. And the verse, of course, says the fruit of the Spirit is, and then it lists the 9 fruit of the Spirit. It also goes on to say that we should live in the Spirit. We shouldn't try and do this on our own. And then it lists some of the things or the consequences that happens when we try and do this on our own. Oh my goodness, I've seen that in my life way too often. Miss Perfectionist over here wanting to do it all on her own. And then I'm just taking one of my white tabs, adding an enamel sticker to it, using lots of pink. I kind of am starting to like brighter pinks. It's difficult for me. I kind of tend to go to the darker colors. I just like them more. But there it is. And so I'm just, again, using this Faber-Castell nib, a Pitt Artist pen in an S nib to write out the fruit of the Spirit. The way we learn is by reading and then hearing and then redoing. So I read what I want to journal, and then I read it out loud so that I can hear it with my own ears, and then I redo it by rewriting it out. And it helps me to remember these verses. That is that for this page. Thank you so much for joining me. Join me again soon. Bye-bye.